I've already tried my persuasive talents in bringing you close to the front of the room, but I failed utterly. I'm Judy O'Brien. I am the pro bono partner here at Sutherland, Aspinall and Brennan. And just on behalf of the firm, I wanted to welcome you here today for the training. We face, in coming here for this training, an adventure of crossing one of the great divides in the legal profession. That is the divide between civil and criminal. And I don't know about the rest of you, but it is a precipice that I venture over with care, since it's so different from what we do. We are pleased to host you today in this Elbert P. Tuttle courtroom. Judge Tuttle was one of the founders of our firm, and he, of course, has continued to inspire all of us at Sutherland with his pro bono efforts and his contribution to justice in the United States. One of the areas in which he took pro bono case was in the area of habeas corpus, and he had, of course, a decision that went to the United States Supreme Court, the Johnson v. Zerbst case, establishing the right to counsel in federal criminal cases. So it's fitting that we should host this event here in the Tuttle courtroom, and I hope that all of your, if your comfort needs are taken care of. There's food back there, there'll be coffee and soft drinks. And I just welcome you today and turn it over to Brian Cavan now.
Thank you, Judy. I appreciate it. I'm Brian Cavan. I'm currently the president of the State Bar of Georgia, and I come here with a great deal of pleasure and pride with what you are doing here. And let me start off with thank you for being here. Thank you and thank your firms for your participation in this much needed program. Your presence here is an important step forward in the efforts of the Standard Council to assure indigent defendants in criminal matters that they're going to get adequate representation, proper representation. This is so important. Funding, as you know, the biggest issue, both of our courts, our indigent defense program and the like, the budget is, the monies just are small this year, and they're cutting and cutting, and you are helping to fill that void. I would be remiss if I didn't thank Judy, Kerbin, Rocco, and Sutherland, the Sutherland firm, for putting this on here, allowing us to use these facilities, and their support. The Sutherland firm, and not to say that your firms, because the fact that you're here shows the interest of your firms in pro bono, but Sutherland just is everywhere on its pro bono work, and it is much appreciated by the State Bar and personally by me for things that we are trying to initiate this year and things that we are trying to promote. I also want to thank our governor, Sonny Perdue, and members of his office, his executive council, Nels Peterson and Ryan Teague, for this initiative, this training program. They made the phone calls, physically made phone calls to your partners, trying to get some support, and at that first meeting, it was gratifying to walk in and to see the firms represented at the table, ready to come forward. Further, this wouldn't happen without the efforts of the director of the Standards Council, Matt Crawford. Jim Stokes is here this morning on behalf of the council, Mary McCall Cash, and then the likes of Tricia McCann and Larry Schneider. I thank you. I encourage you on this. And one thing you might say, well, Kevin, you do civil work. How do you know about this stuff? What do you know? Why do you have any interest? I had the pleasure of having essentially 2 careers in my law practice. And I spent about 16, 17 years doing criminal defense work. I prosecuted for a couple of years in DeKalb. I was a special federal prosecutor on the heroin task force. but I did criminal defense work. And the beginning, I was about 4 months out of law school when then Judge Jack Etheridge, Superior Court judge, I'd gone down to get a temporary hearing set on a divorce case, and he said, go get a cup of coffee and come back and see me. And he appointed me to a murder case. 4 months out of law school. Now, they say lawyers don't talk about cases unless they win them. I won a special plea of insanity in the case. We defeated the charges. My client ended up dying in an institution. But it did whet my appetite. Over the years, I have been involved both with paid clients and on pro bono side. My former firm, Gambrell and Stoltz, there were about 5 or 6 of us over there that joined in and worked for about 12 years on a capital case of appeal. And we had the pleasure, again, of getting a remand on an issue. Unfortunately, got in December, the Kim McMeekin case, but unfortunately, right after the decision came down, our client passed away, not by virtue of the state, but by health issues. And so, the one thing I want to tell you is that working with these clients is going to be different than working with your civil clients. You've got corporations, you've got entities, you're going to be dealing with real, live, breathing people, blood-flowing people. These are real people. It's going to be totally different. You are going to find in that not only some gratification, I think you're going to find some fun in the work. I think it's a great way to do it. It's a great learning tool. We got one person sitting in the back here, and again, we go back 100 years, Jim Bonner, who has been incredible in his efforts in this. But again, welcome, and thank all of you for being here today.
Good morning. I'm Jim Stokes. I'm the director of the Conflicts Division for the Georgia Public Defender Standards Council. And I too wanted to welcome you all and thank you for being here on behalf of the Standards Council. It's listening to the president of our bar, for people who do criminal defense work, you can see how this kind of effort would come forward with his experience and his noted passion for doing this kind of work in his own practice. We appreciate your words regarding that. And we all have to thank Sutherland, the state bar. There have been various judges. Obviously, the governor's office has been very involved. The members of our staff, Mary McCall Cash and Trish McCann, have been integral in putting this together as well. Jiminy Rogers is here, and you'll probably see her around. She's the director of our appellate division at the Public Defender Standards Council. But thank you all for your interest, and first of all, your willingness to do this kind of work. I agree with Brian Cavan here that I think you'll find it interesting. I've been practicing about 16 years, doing mostly criminal defense and private practice, although for the last near 2 years I've been working either with Georgia Capital Defender or as the director of the Standards Council. I still defend death penalty cases and other various cases around the state. Also have been in the legislature for a number of years, sort of found that politics and defending death penalty cases, representing ex-urban areas and defending death penalty cases didn't necessarily coincide with political action committees really wanting to give a lot of money to your campaign. But anyhow, that being said, we appreciate you being here, and we expect that you'll take away from this some knowledge and maybe some confidence that you can actually handle this work. I know that there's been some trepidation from people that they don't feel like they have any experience in this area. But as you heard, I don't know that Mr. Cavan's experience in 4 months out handling a murder case and getting a good result is the norm. But you all can take comfort in that fact. I'm sure that you all are fine legal scholars, and a lot of you probably law review and have an interest in studying law. I think that we'll try to offer you all the assistance that we can once you undertake these cases from our office and certainly from Jim and Eek's office, which is down in Peachtree Center. So again, thank you all for being here. I hope that you'll find this informative, and please contact me once you're ready to begin work. We're ready for you. We need the assistance given our budgetary constraints, and we really appreciate your interest and look forward to your efforts. Thank you.